Go!
All
right, I think we're recording. A red light turned on, so I'm pretty sure.
Red light means we're gonna explode now.
Welcome! This is our first episode of our podcast called The Oddists. Today we have who?
My name is Dylan Caudill, here with the gorgeous and lovely
Tyson Elliott.
And then we have over here.
We have the brilliant mastermind.
Tarsus Revis, of course. Thank you, Dylan.
Awesome. Today in episode 1, we're going to be talking about our favorite video games. And I gotta be honest. Five Nights at Freddy's, Tarsus.
I think it's falling off, if I have to be honest.
You think so?
I think it's falling off.
It's definitely not falling off.
Well, I mean, I feel like the quality has just gotten worse over the years. Because maybe they're trying to put too much stuff into it. I don't know.
It's never really going to die if you think about it. Because all the fan games that are coming out and all like the rip-offs that they're making.
Yeah.
The game's always going to live on in a way.
Well, that's true. It'll probably live on in a way, but its popularity would probably decrease.
Yes.
Well, not in elementary school. Have you seen all the kids wearing the FNAF shirts?
No.
It's kind of wild. But the movie, they're making 3 movies.
They're making
3?
They already had 3 planned out. Yeah, the first 3.
So,
First
like,
3
for
games.
FNAF 1, 2, and 3?
Yeah.
That's
what
crazy.
They said in the
Guys
record
seen
deal.
The screenshot from like the trailer, it's like, together we are Five Nights at Freddy's. It's like all of them.
It's Avengers Assemble.
And it says like Five Nights at Freddy's Assemble. All right. Well then, what else are your guys' games that you guys like to play?
So Five Nights at Freddy's is a single player game. I really like single player games. Some of my favorite is Minecraft and Legend of Zelda. I play a lot of solo Minecraft, but I know like you can play on like servers and whatnot with your friends. So that's pretty cool. So
Yeah, one of my favorite solo player games is Stardew Valley. I just think it's really fun to farm, but then I like give myself too many goals, so I'm like running 27 different things and I have to take a break even though it's supposed to be relaxing.
I've heard that Stardew Valley has been like compared to Terraria a lot.
Yeah, I guess so. They kind of have similar graphics, but they're different because I think Terraria is mostly combat based, right?
I have no idea.
I've never played Terraria. Have you played Terraria,
I've
Tyson?
never touched the game. I've only seen it. The big eye dude is the only guy I've ever seen.
If we're talking smack about Terraria, you guys can leak our IP addresses. We're sorry.
All right. Single player Zelda. That's top tier right there.
Zelda, oh my gosh, I love Legend of Zelda. My favorite one is Ocarina of Time, just because it has so much importance to the story, like just the lore. I guess the lore.
The lore.
Also, the gameplay is just really good. Sure, the graphics aren't great because it's Nintendo 64.
Yeah.
But you know, the gameplay itself is actually it's pretty good because you can go from like third person view to like a first person view, and you know, pretty open world, especially for a Nintendo 64 game.
Now, what do you think of Tears? Do you think Tears is a DLC?
Tears of the Kingdom. Oh, I did hear when it like first came out. It's just it's $70 DLC.
It literally is.
But it's really not though, because if you think about it, there's a whole new like environment, there's a whole new map that you can explore, and also there's new mechanics, there's new characters, there's a new story. It's a completely different game.
I think that's what a DLC is.
Yeah.
The DLC is just the original game.
There's not much to add on to it though. It's not much different.
There's literally 2 different like areas.
I
that you
mean,
can explore, 'cause
That
there's
sounds
whole,
like a DLC to me.
Yeah.
underground depths part, plus like all the.
Have you even
sort of
played the
game-
game?
I have played the game. I've beaten both Breath of the Wild and Tears of the Kingdom.
It's a DLC.
It's not a DLC.
It's a DLC.
I mean, honestly, the only DLCs I've downloaded and played with have been Splatoon DLCs, and it kind of sounds similar. They give you like new places and new maps and new characters, but you know, it's still with the old ones, so I don't know.
Well, I guess that's true, but then like, what about other like continuation games? Is it basically are they also just DLCs?
No, they kind of have the same characters, but then they have like completely different settings and storylines, I guess.
See, that's what I'm saying though. Is like with Tears of the Kingdom, you have a completely different storyline with like, I don't know if I don't want to spoil too much, but you have a completely different like storyline with trying to figure out puzzle pieces and like trying to put things together with like antagonists and protagonists. You know, your allies. Everything's different. and so many things have like changed with characters and villages, and so that's why I think it's a completely different game.
The reason I think it's a complete DLC, mainly, this is how a bunch of other people are, is every single Zelda game has changed with graphics. Like, no game has the same graphics besides Tears and Breath. So that's why I think a lot of people take it as a DLC, because it goes straight with the same graphics.
That's not true, because Ocarina of Time and Majora's Mask have the same graphics. They usually keep the same graphics if it's a continuation of the same, like, Link, I suppose, because how the story goes is there's multiple Links, it's never just the same guy. So that's why all the graphics changes, because it's a different person. So that's how they signify that this is a same guy or a different, so...
But from the blast, or from the game before Breath to Breath, that was a continuation too, and they changed graphics.
Which game?
The one before Breath. I don't remember what it was, but I remember it was I think it was Skyward. Skyward Sword.
What do you mean?
Skyward to Breath. It was a continuation.
No, it wasn't. No.
Wasn't it?
Because Skyward Sword comes like at the beginning of the timeline, like before anything, and then Breath of the Wild, that's at the end.
Yeah, it's like when he's like in a coma.
So it's like the beginning of everything and at the end of everything.
Zelda lore debate.
They're not the same person.
A Zelda lore debate is what we're having right now. We're going way too deep into this.
Okay.
This is good though, it's good.
Alright, multiplayer story. Let's go into that. We're done with single player.
Mortal Kombat 11 actually had a really good story.
Aftermath.
Aftermath.
That was a good story.
Yeah. Tell us about it.
So basically, like, the main story just kind of ends with, like, the main protagonist, Liu Kang. He just kind of, like, resets the timeline. But then, like, if you go into Aftermath, it has, like, Shang Tsung, and he's, like a good guy, and he's, like, going with, like, these other DLC characters, going to, like, retrieve the crown. So then they are able to reset the timeline, like, better and faster, because the crown broke when it fell off. But then he, like, ends up being bad, and he, like, does some stuff. He alters timelines because he gets sent back in the past. So then he has to, like, fight Liu Kang. And it was kind of like trippy, because like it like completely messed with the story mode timeline. Like you had the main story mode, and then the Aftermath went back into the story mode that you already played, and like altered everything that happened.
That's really cool.
That's crazy.
That's actually really cool. Yeah, I heard that like Liu Kang, or I guess I didn't hear, but I knew like Liu Kang reset everything. That's why the new Mortal Kombat is Mortal Kombat 1.
Yeah.
Because everything's kind of reverted.
And everyone hates on that for it being called Mortal Kombat 1.
Well, I think it actually opens up a whole bunch of windows of possibilities for them to kind of clean up a little bit, because when Mortal Kombat, first came out, I'm sure they didn't think of that game being so popular and so big. So with them resetting it, they can do more now, and open up new doors and possibilities.
They're gonna have to do a lot more though, because they're releasing games like every 4 years. They're gonna be needing to do that faster then.
Yeah.
Because I know games like will come out more than that. And I think that if it takes time to do like 3 years, 2 years, that might be better.
Well, that also enters like the cyberpunk debate.
Well, what I'm saying is like they do like the next game, like Mortal Kombat 2 or whatever they're gonna call it, in 2 years to get the story going, and then they could just like space out for 6 years and then go again on the game. If that makes sense, because then it's like, because then it's a brand new timeline. So you want games like fast, and then you want them slow.
Yeah, I guess I get what you're saying. So you want like a good kind of balance. You don't want it to be like too quickly where like there's so many games that you don't know what's happening.
Exactly.
You just want a good balance of like, okay, here's one game, story ends, okay, here's the second game, continuation, and then some time passes. So
exactly.
You're just like, okay.
Or like the DLC, like it was perfect for 11. You had the game, and then a couple of years later you had your DLC come out. And like, okay, this is perfectly fine. So it's like, it's not a brand new story, but it's like pretty much a brand new story for you, because you get to play with new characters and everything and fight with them. And then it's like, okay, I can wait for the next game. And the next game came out like 2 or 3 years later after that.
Yeah.
That makes sense. Oh, you want to know what DLC hasn't came out yet, even though they said it was going to come out a year ago?
Splatoon.
Splatoon 3 Side Order. I bought it, and it still hasn't come out yet.
Oh my god, you should get a refund.
They've released the second trailer in the year.
When was this supposed to come out?
Like, I don't know, a couple months ago? That's what everybody thought the timeline was, because they dropped the trailer then, But second trailer just came out.
If we're talking about DLC, can we talk about the Mario Kart DLC?
Yeah, let's go.
Dude, they brought in some good characters.
Yeah, I also thought it was cool that they brought in around the world, the
Yeah.
world tour stuff, like Paris and Tokyo.
Oh, I
Yeah.
love that. And they have all the classic little like roads again, because I know that was in the original game, but in the DLC you have like your different tracks from the original games, like the NES, the Wii.
Yeah.
The Wii was my favorite, so of course I had to hop on that train. But like I also like the characters because they had in Kamek, they had in the Weedle guy, like the little. I don't know if that's from Pokemon, but like the little.
Oh, I'm Whittler?
Yeah, Whittler, that's his name.
Yeah.
I liked him. I like playing as him because he's like a heavy character, so he's faster.
Yeah. I like playing as lighter characters. Like, Isabelle is my main character because I have found the perfect card setup for her. I can't, like, describe it because I don't know any of the...
You're gonna
other
gatekeep
names.
it?
You're gonna gatekeep
I'm
this
gonna
setup.
Gatekeep the God Isabelle setup.
That's valid.
That's crazy.
I think we have enough for today. We're gonna continue this next time with movies. If you guys want to come back then.
We love movies.
This has been The Oddist with Dylan, Tarsus, and Tyson. Thank you for tuning in.
Meow.